Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I feel inspired to talk about emotions and emotions in the way of them being an illusion. And what I mean by that, and what kind of inspired that, was I actually what kind of inspired it is I saw like a video online of, I think it was like an ant on a piece of paper or something, and they kept drawing circles with like a Sharpie in it, and the ant wouldn't go through the circle. And the caption was that fear is an illusion. And it just really resonated with me. And that is so true. And it is actually true for a lot of other lower vibrational emotions as well. Because emotions come from our beliefs. And beliefs, are something that are kind of ingrained in us. We a lot of times have beliefs that we don't even realize that we have, because we just kind of form them subconsciously, but they end up affecting us consciously. And the reason why they are an illusion is because you can have a belief in something that is not necessarily true. You can believe that you're not worthy or that you're not good enough. And that belief can really, really form your life. And it forms your life in the way of emotions, the way you feel, because the way you feel puts out a vibration, and we all know that we are vibratory beings, and that like vibration attracts like vibration. So if you have the deep-seated belief that you are not worthy or you are not good enough, and an opportunity comes along, that belief will come up in an emotion, and that emotion will be maybe disappointment because you feel like you're not good enough and you can't take advantage of this opportunity because you don't have what it takes to cut it. And it can come out as fear. It most likely comes out as fear when you feel like you're not good enough or you're not worthy. That emotion that you will feel when that opportunity comes up is fear. I couldn't do that. That probably won't work out for me. I also saw something really interesting, and I cannot remember what they said the best advice they ever had, but they said the worst advice they were ever given was to be realistic. And I love that, because that also really resonated with me, because sometimes we want to do things that aren't realistic, but we feel in our heart maybe that we have to do that, but there's a lot of fear surrounding it. There's a lot of what ifs, and there's a lot of deep-seated beliefs will come up during that time. And then it is kind of coupled with, so not only do you have this deep-seated belief that you are not good enough or you are not worthy, then this opportunity comes along, and the opportunity is kind of not realistic maybe. And then you have, that little spark of fear kind of, lights on fire and becomes a huge bonfire. You have all this fear surrounding it because you don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know if you have what it takes to cut it. You don't know if you're worthy of this, so that's coming from that deep-seated belief. Then you have this fire of fear. This is my fire. And then it could also be coupled with you speaking to unawakened individuals that then just feed that fear. It's like they're pouring gasoline on that fire. They're like, oh, well, this could happen or that could happen, or, you're doing so well with what you're doing. You have such a great life. Why would you want to change it up? Why would you want to shake it up like that? Why? what you have going, you should really be grateful for what you have. And this is shit that I have been hearing. So I'm not making this up. That's not the channeled part. What, you have something so great going for you. Why would you want to risk? Why would you want to put that at risk? You've got a lot of responsibility now. You're not a little kid anymore. You have a lot of things to think about. So before you go and shaking things up and, going and, living on a whim and a dream, really look at your life. Look at how grateful you are. Look at how, grateful you should be. Look at all the things that you have. You want something else, but look at all the things that you have. Now, this is not a bad thing. Of course we need to be grateful for our lives the way they are, and be happy and complete the way things are now. But also remember that life is change. So it is okay to take a leap. It is okay to take a risk. It is okay to shake things up. And just because you want to take advantage of an opportunity that comes your way, or you want to create an opportunity for yourself, does not mean that you are not grateful for the life that you have right now. That gratitude needs to be in the moment. When you wake up in the morning, you need to, it is gratitude for the day you have. It is gratitude for the job you have. It is gratitude for the people that are in your life, for the roof over your head, for the food on your plate. Always. Those are moment-to-moment things. Those are kind of like the duh things. We always need reminding of that. But really, really get used to using your discernment to decipher if, do I want this change? Do I want to take this opportunity out of, fear of my life not being good enough for me? Or is this the next step in my journey? We are not meant to be stagnant. We are always meant to be changing and evolving. And that doesn't mean we're changing and evolving from bad things. We can be changing and evolving from amazing things to next amazing things. But we are always changing and evolving. And that is okay. So that is why you really need to use your discernment of, have I been unhappy and have I been ungrateful for my circumstances, and that's, I'm kind of acting out of desperation, or am I acting out of evolution? Am I acting out of just taking those next steps in my life? And only you can discern that. So once you've discerned that, the divine wants you to have permission, and I keep seeing the same visualization of you stepping through a it's hard to explain, if you've ever seen like a superhero movie and they walk through like a magnetic bubble, or and it's kind of like it's like you can see through, but it's like kind of wavy and like light reflecting. Well, that bubble is your fear. Those are your emotions. And the divine wants you to have the faith to step through that. Because once you step through that wall, once you step through that bubble, you will then be able to be more in hindsight and realize that, hey, maybe that was a deep-seated belief that was amping up all of that fear around it, because this is working out pretty well, or I'm really learning a lot, or actually if it totally blows up in your face and you're like, you know what, the life I had wasn't so bad and I kind of want to go back to that, that's okay too. Or it's like, oh, well, the life I had wasn't that bad, and now I took this opportunity and now it's not working out for me. What do I do now? Keep going forward. That's what you do. You keep moving forward. But the divine wants you have to walk through that illusion. It's like that mirage, like on a hot day when you look down the street and it, there's that those waves of heat coming off of the asphalt, that is kind of what it looks like. So the divine wants you to walk through that with confidence and with love and with the understanding that your fear is an illusion. It is just you, this human body with a deep-seated belief in your mind that is bringing up all of that fear. And if you find that you're having a lot of fear, you then need to maybe start to reflect on the beliefs that are causing that. Now, fear is natural. Fear is your ego wanting to keep you in the same place, because to your ego, being in the same place means that you are safe. But we all know that that is not true. You know, staying in the same place when a boulder is about to fall on you is not the safest place to be. That change, that moving, so the boulder falls over here and you're now over here, that's the safest place to be. So that movement, that change, that going through that wall, bursting through that bubble, sometimes is the safest place to be. And it is only your ego that's bringing up all that fear, coupled with beliefs that you might have of being unworthy, or not believing that you have what it takes. Remember, if the divine hands you something, you have what it takes to deal with it, to move through it, to turn it into a positive, whatever it is that you're needing to do. Whatever that is, if the divine has handed it to you, that means that you can do it. If the divine is handing you an opportunity that you feel in your heart is the right thing to do, but you have doubts, remember, those doubts are human egoic doubts. But that faith is divine faith. And that knowing that, you're like, I don't know if I have what it takes to do this, but I feel like I should do it anyways. Go for it. Do it. Leap. Because remember, you have what it takes. You have what it takes inside of you always. Because you are whole, worthy, and complete all the time. You are worthy of receiving everything you've been creating. You are worthy of receiving even opportunities that you could have never fathomed in your mind. You are worthy of living a life that you love. You are worthy of creating a reality that you want to create, that you truly want to create. And you are worthy of being able to step through that fear, to step through those emotions, to step through that and to experience what is on the other side of those emotions. You are worthy of that as well. So that was our message for today. I hope this brought you some value. My name is Anne, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in, for watching, of course. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.